So, as some of you may have seen on the other channel, earlier this year, I did two road trips in a slingshot, and both actually we encountered days that were quite cold. Um, one of them I traveled and it was like 3, 4 degrees Celsius, which was cold. And the other one, we were actually about 10, 11 degrees, still cold in a slingshot, but it got raining. So I was like, I wonder if there's any way to get some heat in this so we can survive. I'm not too bad, but I know Monique, who's usually in the pasture, she's not a big fan of the cold. So I was like, maybe something like this. So I actually bought this off of Amazon. This is a car mounted heater. So it has dual use of cold and hot. So you get both. So on days like today, it may be even really good because it's quite warm out. Fashionable appearance and high quality. So defrost and mist removal, again, not really that usable for, let's say, the slingshot. Fast temperature rise, overheat protection, and high wind. So we got a couple things. So first off, we have to tear off the anti-slip mat protective film, stick it near the dashboard, I guess. Place the product there. The switch has 3 gears of cold, wind, off, and heating. All right, so driving range of sight. Now, I'm actually thinking what I may do, again, because it's not that effective. I guess not that big a need for me. It's really more of a need for Monique. I may actually put it under the dashboard, like under the dash on the passenger side, possibly. I don't even know how this connects, if it's USB or 12 volts. I guess we'll find out, right? Anyways, this is what comes. Oh, so it is 12 volt. Okay, so 12 volt for all the stuff out. And there's your anti-slip mat. So you're going to stick this down wherever you are. Now, my hope is, again, that this can stick in an area that at least, she can kind of get her hands or something, just so it's a little bit in the warmth. Then you get this car-mounted heater instruction. Okay, and you got to remember, too, I don't expect the heat, the two of us, in an open cockpit of the slingshot by any means, or if you're in a convertible, right? It's not going to put out the same kind of heat that your car would by any means, but anything that can help, cool. I had no idea how big it was, so that's actually not too bad in regards to size. Yes, not too bad at all. So it is a 12 volt. There is your right cold, I guess, off, and heat, one of them. But this has got, you can see it, a little heater in there. I don't know if I have a little 12 volt here that I can just use for a second, that I can actually try this out just to see if there's, any heat coming out of it right now, because if so, that would be cool. This would have been nicer if it was black, at least for my vehicle. But if I were to want to put it on my motorcycle, which is white, I could put that off on the dash. And if my hands are gold, just or it could actually blow some heat or some coolness. Because again, you put your windshield up, all of a sudden you don't get as much wind. Now, putting this on a motorcycle kind of defeats the purpose of riding a motorcycle, in my opinion, right? You're part of it is being out in the elements. I don't know if I have any power here. Hold on. Oh, we're alive. Okay, we're alive. So you would sit that down. Well, it doesn't have any fan control, like of how much. I'm guessing that's your cool. Yeah, it's got some cool to it, for sure. It's not crazy blowy by any means, but it's definitely got cool air. So would it be helpful? You put it like this. The issue I find, honestly, is like if you put your hand like straight there, it doesn't really blow on you. You kind of have to come up here to blow. So again, if I could mount this like this way, upside down, then it blows down, right? So it blows down on you. So it's kind of, I don't know if you guys can see, it's kind of down here that it's blowing. All right, well, what about this way? Now we're in heat. Is there any heat? Oh yeah, there's heat. So I would say, here's why I would say, you know what, if you're in, let's say, a slingshot or something like that, and you're like, My hands are really cold. This would help. It would help. Yeah, because it's got some heat to it for sure. What I may do is actually put it, because one of the 12 volts is in here in the little middle section. So I may actually take this and just have it so it sits on the armrest here. So you could sit it like this. And then if your hand was cold, like she was cold, she could just lean over and put her hands like this to warm it. Now, is it worth the money? I don't know. I don't know. I think, you know what, it'll be fine. It'll be helpful. Is it going to be the best heater in the world? I think it would actually do very well if you had a car. Right? Let's say, you know, your car didn't have a great heater, or the heater was broken and you wanted it to help defrost. Maybe one of your windows doesn't defrost really good. Is this going to help? Yeah. And I think that's why, you know, if you sit this on your dash, that's kind of what it's designed for, right? You sit this kind of on your dash, and again, it blows up, right? So it blows up to kind of give you that defrost for that, right? So if you're in a car, yeah, down here, you get some, but up here, you definitely get more, for sure. So helpful? Yeah, possibly. Possibly. The coolness, of course. Coolness, the fan is just stronger. And it does put out cool air. So, you know, even again in a slingshot, I find on certain days it's just so hot. We had 34 degrees Celsius the last few days. Hot. So having some extra cool air may be nice, you know, just to help. But again, I think the issue for me is trying to figure out where to mount it so that the air actually blows on you and not kind of above you. And it's pointless blowing into the windshield, because that's not going to help anybody. I give it like a 2.5 stars, maybe 2.5, maybe 3. Again, concept is cool. I would like to see the fans blow harder, is what I would like to see. Harder for that. But you know what? Oh, the other thing too is just this got fairly warm. This part here, a little warm. Huh. Huh. Anyways, I'll leave links if you're like, yeah, why not? It could be cool, right? Put it in your ATV. At least when you stop, you have a little heater. So that could be something, I guess. That could be something. All right, links down below if you're interested. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next video. Later. And I love you, if that matters. It doesn't. I know. Whatever.